Well, chat, we are so back, baby. Okay, got the cringy out of the way. Welcome back to a new edition of GCA Live. Kendrick Fruit, Stephen Weidenhouse here with you as we're going to break down the fall sports this year. We're so excited to be back. We're going to have coaches. We're going to have players. It's going to be a fun time, Stephen. Welcome back.
It is good to be back. It was a long summer, a lot of behind-the-scenes work, but now we are on campus. We are starting some exhibitions this week. And then we are 1 week away from the madness happening here on the campus of Greensboro College. So it is great to be back and great to be back on Greensboro College Athletics Live.
Absolutely. And the show as yet still unsponsored, but that has a chance to change. If you're interested in sponsoring GCA Live this year, we have
maybe Gatorade.
Just the guy to talk
Gatorade?
to later on in the show today. Yeah,
Gatorade?
Yeah. But no, we'll certainly have a discussion of that later on. But Stephen, again, with the fall sports slate coming up, men's and women's soccer, volleyball, football, golf's got their fall schedule, cross country with some events this fall as well, and it's a packed schedule. And once again this year, got to tip your cap to everybody who's in charge of making the schedule. There are some good events for all the sports across the board this year. Some things to circle on your calendar for sure.
There's a lot, and a lot right off the bat, too. I mean, obviously, you have all the home openers coming up this week. We have the Super Bowl.
25th Super Bowl.
Yep. 25th Super Bowl at home here on the campus of Greensboro College at night and on the brand new turf. We'll show you a picture of that as well if you have not seen it. Of course, come out next Saturday to see that turf field. Along with the Soup Bowl with Guilford and Greensboro College. But so many home games already on the docket in this first week. As you look on your screen, you have a ticker there. You're going to see all of the upcoming events, home and away. Most are at home this week, and it's going to be a really fun time to get to play with some new technology that we've gotten for our live streams. We'll preview Flow College as well. That's something new. So a lot of new and exciting things coming up.
Absolutely. And I think one of the big ones that I know you were excited about, and we'll let people destroy you in the comments if we'd like, but you are a Duke fan.
Yes, of course.
And men's soccer on the road at Duke this year, which is a super exciting opportunity for them as well.
Absolutely. That's going to be a great opportunity for our men's soccer team.
Who are you pulling for?
Oh, boy. Why'd you have to ask that question? Of course I'm cheering for the green and white, Kendrick.
Okay.
That's going to be a fun trip. Of course, this is on down the road, but even men's basketball gets to play at High Point this year. Mm-hmm. So a lot of cool events coming up. Not just non-conference, in-conference, but like you said, getting to play at Duke or a High Point. Those are really cool opportunities for our athletes.
Absolutely. And again, you mentioned Flow College. Just really quickly, I'm going to put you on the spot before we get ready to start our preseason previews. Just give a really quick rundown, if you will, of how people can get set up there to watch Greensboro College this year.
Absolutely. So if you go to GreensboroCollegeSports.com, right there on the home page, the first little page there that you'll see is a link to some information about Flow College. That is a subscription-based streaming platform. There are tons of different ways to watch Flow College. So if you go on that link, read some of that info, but also there's a link there that you can go to the landing page on the Flow College website that has Greensboro College, all of our events, how you can watch, the different ways to stream, the different plans that you can buy as well throughout the year. So a lot of information is going to be right there when you go to GreensboroCollegeSports.com. Right there on that first page, click that link, and that's going to give you everything you need to know.
All right, and we'll give you that information again later on this evening as well. All right, well, let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to begin our preseason previews with football. Coach Card will be here, quarterback Cam Turner here as well. That's when GCA Live returns.
biggest thing that Greensboro College helped me prepare for was the soft skills. Communication, hard work mentality, the always show up, be engaged with what you're doing. The best piece of advice I could give to someone who is looking at schools is look for a school that looks at you. Don't look for somewhere treating you as if you're just a number. You're a person, and you deserve to be given the education that makes you stand out as a person.
Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, you know, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, you know, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that like led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. And we welcome you back to GCA Live. It's time now to break down football in their 2026 season. We're joined by head coach Tyler Card. We're joined by quarterback Cam Turner. And a lot of reasons to be excited around Greensboro College football this year. A new turf. We got some night games, including the Soup Bowl. We got this guy a full year at the quarterback position. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, Coach, first off, welcome aboard. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. Talk a little bit about, we'll start with the offense this year and tell us a little bit about some of our key returners and maybe some new faces that are going to have big roles this year.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry about my voice. It's been a long week of practice so far, but very intrigued in what I've seen so far. We got some great guys coming back. Our retention this year has been awesome. We haven't had to bring in as many young guys in the past. But kind of starting us off, I'll start with our quarterback room. You know, obviously with Cam coming back and had a great finish to the year last year, gave us a good spark, helped us get some momentum going to finish out the season. You can tell he's worked hard this offseason. He's had a great summer, come into camp in shape, ready to go, been a leader for us during this time. Also, Chase has been doing a lot of stuff and improving this year, really working on his leadership skills and decision-making. He's been one that's run the offense well through camp so far. And KJ Pollock, the other one, quarterback, who's been pushing these guys. Seen a lot of improvement over him since the spring, and I like the way he's stepping up and doing some things. And then we got some young guys in here coming in and pushing as well, so I'm excited to see how that crew continues to grow. Running back spot is what really gets me jacked up right now.
Absolutely.
I think we've got some real studs in there that can have a breakout year. Can't wait to see Cam, Torrance Kelly, you know, do his things and build off the end of the year he had. And then getting Kewan Westmoreland back and healthy this year, I think is going to be a huge impact for us as well. He came off some great games before he got hurt with a 200-something yard game against Roanoke, and we just want to see him build on that and have success this year. But then also we got a transfer, Cameron Lee, that came in and has been doing well this spring. Another freshman we had last year, Dwight, has been great. He's been really working hard, getting a feel for this. And then we got a good stable behind us, some young guys that have kind of learning how it goes, making some good steps throughout this camp so far.
Yeah, I told Stephen a couple of days ago, in the history of Greensboro College football, only one 1,000-yard rusher. But you look at some of the horses in this backfield, would not be surprised if we had a second one this year.
I'd love to get two this year.
Well, you know, funny you mentioned that. We were actually talking about that about a week ago, and how good that running back room is. And, I mean, I think you could see, as long as they stay healthy, at least two of those guys getting 1,000 yards. In my mind, I'm thinking of Kewan Westmoreland and Torrance Kelly. But one thing, let's kind of flip it a little bit to last year. You're coming off a couple of wins right at the end of the year. What kind of momentum does that give you going into your offseason and then to start out this season with those two wins at the end of the year?
No, that was very big because you start off the year last year with a big win in the Super Bowl and having that momentum. Then we kind of had some struggles throughout, and then to finish it off and cap it with those 2 wins, especially conference wins at the end, it really brought us into spring with a lot of excitement and a lot of energy to, guys to get better and to keep fighting. And then I think it also helped in our recruiting as well. We got some really good players that are in here now. But I think just keeping that momentum and understanding what it took to win those last games. And, we can't go back to where we started. We got to go where we finished. And I think we've done a pretty good job, especially in our team chemistry and bonding and how we've been coming together. I'm very proud of these guys for that part. It really stands out. And we have a group chat, and you can just see when guys are reaching out and helping each other and expressing times when they need something, and when life hits them hard, they've been there for each other and they want to help each other out. So I think that all builds into us keeping this momentum going, and especially right into week 1.
Well, speaking of momentum, Cam, you got a lot of playing time near the end of last season. You had a whole off season to continue to get deeper and deeper into the game, the playbook. Tell me a little bit about your comfort level going into this season.
Right now, I would say I'm extremely comfortable. I mean, over the summer in D3, you can't be on campus with the guys, but being able to keep a relationship with them and talk with them over the playbook, it was a great experience. This fall camp has been amazing, getting to know the new guys, getting closer with the guys I already know, and I'm just excited to put it all together against a different color jersey.
Tell me some goals that you've set for yourself this year.
Goals. I want to win the conference.
Okay.
I want to win the conference. Want to have definitely at least 3 offensive guys all conference for sure, and I just want to be a leader. I want to go out there and win. I want to win the Super Bowl, of course. That's goal number 1 right now.
Well, Cam, last year I thought it was so cool to see you go from, brand new freshman. You had a couple of guys ahead of you on the depth chart. I remember watching you play in one of those development games, and I was like, he's pretty good. He's tough. He's not afraid of anything. Mobile, and then not long after that, you got your shot and you took it over.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that process from going from freshman, brand new to school, to this football team, coaching staff, coordinators, and going from lower on the depth chart to taking, not only earning the starting spot, but pretty much taking it over.
Yeah. So I would say it was hard at first, coming into camp, because I was homesick, I would say, because I'm from Florida originally. And having those developmental games definitely got my groove going, so I was able to get some reps, able to play. And then once I got my shot during Belhaven, I took it over from there. And then having the older guys, even though I went above them in the depth chart, they still helped me. And definitely Josh Sims and Chase Altus definitely helped me grow as a player. So
awesome. One other thing you mentioned too was leadership.
Yes, sir.
How did you develop your leadership, and how did your coaches help you develop? And even you talk about Josh and Chase; those were older guys. How did they help you develop your leadership as a freshman? Because you look at the quarterback position, it's one of the hardest, maybe the hardest position to play in sports. Mm-hmm. And then from a leadership position, you've got to lead a lot of guys. You got to get guys the ball, right? You're looking at multiple receivers and running backs wanting the football. At the same time, you're trying to lead the team to a win. How did your leadership change, develop, and grow through that first year?
I would definitely say with just gaining confidence through playing more games. And we have a leadership council that Coach Card runs, and that definitely built not just mine but other players in that group, their leadership skills, and helped throughout spring and showing in fall now.
Well, Coach, looking at the roster, I think obviously the running game is going to be a big part of this identity, but doesn't mean you don't have some speedsters in the wide receiver group as well. You bring guys like KJ Brown back, just the first one that pops into my mind. But talk a little bit about your receiver group, and then also your offensive line, which has a lot of returners and a couple of new guys as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very excited because we're very explosive right now at receiver. I think we've got a lot of guys that can take the top off, and we've got some good size that we brought in this offseason as well that can help us in some spots. Yeah, KJ coming back, he's actually done a great job of stepping up and really pulling in some of those young guys as well. I'm excited to see Sincere. He's been very explosive for us this season already. camp and, taking the top off. Mitron Curry, he's done a phenomenal job of really buying into the system and giving himself opportunities. Yeah, this is one exciting group right there that I think can really do some big things as long as we, are consistent and protect them. And that goes into those guys up front. And I'm excited with that group as well because they're really buying in. And, the O-line, that's a tough group to get to mesh. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time putting together. These guys have been putting that time in. We have a lot of returners coming back. That's going to help us be a key point. I think we're still going to have a couple of sophomores and maybe even a freshman or two that are going to help get in a rotation a little bit. But really kind of anchoring us down would be our two seniors in Smouse and Ernest Bencomo. Those two are really taking a big role in being leaders and helping our guys understand what to do, how to get better, and being great communicators on the field. And that's what we need at that group in front, because if they're talking and they're on the same page, we'll have plenty of success this year.
Well, you stole my next question. I was going to ask. I was going to ask about the offensive line. You've got multiple upperclassmen coming back this year, and you mentioned Ernest as well. Talk about how important that's going to be for this guy and just your offense overall, having all of that experience come back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all about keeping him protected and keeping your quarterback clean. And if we can do that, then we're going to have a very big year. And I think these guys are taking a bigger sense of pride in that. No pun intended, but they.
Oh, come on, Coach, just admit it.
They are. They put an emphasis. Anybody that touches the quarterback, we're getting after them. We mixed it up a few times in camp, which is good. That's what I want to see every once in a while. So they're ready to go. They want to fight to be the best they can be. We're competing well. We're pushing each other hard. That's what I'm excited to keep seeing them do.
On the defensive side of the ball, Coach, one of the things that Coach Terrain told me last year was he said that pressure up front generates turnovers, and talking about the success the secondary has had the last couple of years, he said it starts with the pressure up front. You lose Frank Walker, who could have been up in top 3 probably in career sacks had he stayed here. No Devarius Jesse. Tell me a little bit about kind of where that pass rush is going to come from this year.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. We've got a good group coming back. We're going to be a lot younger on defense than we have been in the last couple of years. But it's a good a testament to Coach Terrain and what he builds and what he brings out of those guys. Coach Bird and Coach Burton are working with those D linemen. I think we've got a great group there. I'm excited to see Zaire Ray have a breakout year. I think he can be someone that's going to come off the edge. If Braden Anderson-Sidbury really steps up, I think he can be another one to put some pressure on it up front. Stone has been really an anchor in that middle of holding that down, and I want to see him continue to grow. And then we have Manny Ellis coming back, who was a senior for us. Didn't have him last year due to some injuries and stuff, but getting him back, we're pretty deep there, pretty young, but I think it's a good group that we can get a good rotation to keep some pressure on those guys.
Last kind of groupings for when we talk about the defense, you go to your linebacker spot, then you go to your secondary. Talk a little bit about Jay Law, what he's meant to the program. It's cool because now that we've been here a few years, we can kind of see these kids grow like you guys, and it's been really neat to see how Jay has developed and grown as a leader and as a football player. Tell us a little bit about Jay, and then kind of give us a preview of linebackers and the secondary.
I love Jay Law. He is the epitome of a Division III football player. He doesn't look like it, but that kid can play some ball. He's a great leader. He flies around. He's not afraid to hit somebody. He's going to give you everything he has every single play. And that's, like I said, that's just what you look for at this level, are guys that come in and just love ball and want to play and want to lead and have a passion. And that's what we've seen out of him this whole time. And he's been such a great leader for us. And then kind of next to him, Jaden Barnes will be another one in that box that's going to help lead that group and push forth there. On the back end, we got a few guys returning, but we got some young guys coming back that I think are going to do some really, really big things. Kind of still filling it out there, having some guys making some plays, moving some people and pieces around. But I think Coach Terrain's doing a good job of finding the right spots for everybody to get into play and to go hard and play fast.
Well, Coach, last question here for you, and we'll let you guys go. You go from 1-9 2 years ago to 3-7 last year. What does it look like to take that next step again this year?
I think we just got to keep our foot on the gas pedal. I think we have learned how to win, and that was part of our struggle last year, especially early on. We got the first one, but then we lost several close games that we had every opportunity to win. So I think this year going into it is we've got to learn that, and have that confidence to play and finish games out and, not look back. Like if we get up on something, we've got to continue to throttle down, go with the hard adversity, no matter what hits, just keep playing football. And I think that'll take us into those next steps. That'll really push us to be where we want to be.
Well, Cam and Coach, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit this evening, and we'll be talking to you soon for the pregame preview of the Soup Bowl. Really quickly, anything you want to say about the Soup Bowl back here after a win last year? Any thoughts going into that?
Just ready to keep that trophy here at GC. Excited for a night game. Need you guys out here to pack this place up so we get a great atmosphere and have some fun with it.
All right, well, a lot to look forward to on the football side of things, and we're going to step aside. More to look forward to. We got women's soccer coming up next here as GCA Live continues.
Flow Sports has changed the game. We created the essential destination NCAA fans deserve. Together, Flow College and NCAA conferences, institutions, and teams have taken all collegiate sports to the next level.
Oh my goodness! Back to Jones. She lets it fly from deep, and she buries it. Oh, and a wraparound. He's got some speed down the sideline. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
The new collegiate record belongs to Parker Valby.
Looking in front, Stockfish, offload shot, score!
Smith making three. That is crushed.
It's a touchdown!
And we welcome you back to the Student Center. GCA Live continues our preseason bash, and we've got women's soccer here up on the stage with us now, joined by head coach Mike Johnston, Kim Marcondes, Shay Brennan, and Kaylee Petroskis as well. Thank you all for hanging out with us here for a little bit this evening. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, just from a personal standpoint, I am so excited for your season this year. I had a lot of fun watching you guys last year, and I'm glad that soccer season's finally back.
This is going to be one of the teams to watch, I think. We have a lot of teams to watch, but I think this is one of them, led by this man right here, Mike Johnston. Coach.
Don't look so excited, Coach.
Come on, Coach. Listen, when we're at the deli and when we're at other places, this guy is the life of the party. Coach, let's get it started just kind of previewing your team this year. You have a lot of returners. Still young, but a lot of returners and a lot of talented returners. Talk to us a little bit about what it's been like this preseason, what you've seen, and just a little bit of a preview of what you got on your roster.
Yeah, it's interesting you asked that. So I was talking to Shay and Cam last night and telling them that this is probably the most fun preseason I've had, and I've been coaching a long time, and I think the competition's been really, really good. I think the girls have pushed each other. The freshman group, I think, has meshed quicker than any rookie group we've had, I think it's fair to say. They fit in really, really well. They're all very skilled, and the competition piece has just been really good for us, I think, through preseason. And I think competition is what breeds excellence, ultimately, right? So I think that piece of it's been really, really good. We're excited tomorrow for an opportunity to take the field against Lynchburg, and obviously Lynchburg is a quality side, right? So it'll be a good test, and that's why we do it. And we'll take things out of that game and get ready to roll here in a week. But, we're excited for sure.
Coach, getting into details a little bit, second year in a row where you're going to be asking a lot out of a freshman goalkeeper. Obviously, Cheyenne Hansen was phenomenal last year. Talk to us a little bit about Alyssa Lane and kind of expectations and how you can get her comfort level into the college game where it needs to be.
Yeah, well, one of the things I'll say is the goalkeeper competition in preseason has been great. Carlisle, the steps that she's taken from 2 years ago to now has been phenomenal. And both keepers have been really, really good in training in terms of pushing each other. They were really good today in pregame. And I think that competition, again, is what breeds excellence. Alyssa, I think, brings some different things to the game. Her athleticism is really good. She make the big save. Obviously for any freshman, morphing into a college soccer environment can be tough. And I think the biggest thing for our whole freshman class is how quickly can they acclimate to this level, right? That's always the question is. It's always faster. It's always more physical. The speed of play is better. So, if they can kind of raise their level to that, I think we'll have a lot of success this season.
That feels like the same conversation you and I had last season's preseason preview.
Very, very familiar for sure.
Well, Coach, one thing that we've talked about is how many scorers you have, how many threats you have up front. Tell us a little bit about not only these three, but a lot of them out there, and just overall, your roster is loaded.
They're quiet, but I promise
they're quiet. They just got done with practice, so that's probably why. Tell us about the girls that you've got up front. It is going to be a really tough offense to stop for opposing teams.
I think we've got a lot of versatility. I think that we have a lot of pieces that can play different spots. We've got kids that can play outside back and transverse and play forward, in the same moment, right? Depending on whether we're playing 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, things like that, right? 3-5-2. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing is we do have a lot of players that can finish in 1v1 situations. One of the things I've noticed in preseason, we've done a lot of stuff 1v1 to goal. They've been really good. Composure on the ball, I think, is better than it was last year in preseason. So, obviously soccer's a weird game, right? You can finish in practice very well, and then you hit the game, and, you struggle with that, and finishing is quite difficult. That's why shooting is one thing and finishing is a different aspect. But I think we have a lot of young ladies that can finish, and we have a lot of firepower, that's for sure. And I think the depth up front this year is much, much better. I think we've got 6 to 8 quality forwards that can put the ball in the net at any given time.
We'll show some love to this side of the table, too. We'll start here with Kaylee and work our way around, Stephen. Let's do that. So, Kaylee, 7 points last year. Tell me a little bit about kind of how your freshman season went for you and where you want to improve going into this year.
I would say, I felt like I had a pretty good freshman season. Obviously, the nerves are there, but I had a very supportive team that didn't show any side of, oh, I wish that was me, upperclassmen saying, oh, you're a freshman, I wish I was you. They just supported me the whole entire time, lifted me up. If I messed up, they were there, next one, you got it. So I think having that behind you really, truly helps because it's kind of your drive to keep going. It's not just playing for yourself, but you have so many other girls to also play for.
Is familiarity, kind of what you were talking about with those teammates, is that going to be something that you take advantage of now that you're more familiar with your teammates, especially those older teammates that are still here?
I think so, yes. Especially in the spring, our chemistry was just crazy. We really played excellent, I think, in our spring games, and just things were clicking. And I just think it also helps that we do have majority of our team returning as well, and just being able to have all that still there. So, yeah.
Well, Shay, one of the things that I've loved watching about you over your first couple of years here is, for one thing, your just ability to fit into whatever role is asked of you. You've played on the back line. You've played up the field a little bit more. And I think the thing that I love about it is the selfless attitude, knowing that, maybe your stats do take a hit when you play on the back line. You lose some of those chances to score, but you do it so willingly and so well. Talk a little bit about just your ability to be flexible and do what is asked of you to do.
Yeah, it always, when being on a team, to me, it's your team comes first. So if that means I need to be in the back and I'm not scoring goals and Cam's up top and she's scoring, I'm happy. If we're winning, I'm happy. And I think this year, like Coach Mike said, we do have a lot of players that can play up top, so that might mean me dropping back this year, but I'm really happy to see what we have up top, and I'm happy to see that people are finishing the ball and getting up there. So I'm happy to be back there.
I think a happy Shay is a good thing.
That is true. Shay, talk a little bit about your leadership and your leadership role. Even as a freshman, when you came in, it seemed like you really took over as one of the leaders. You also had, some upperclassmen to learn from as well when you first came in. Tell us a little bit about how your leadership has grown, your leadership role, and how has that evolved, and what does that kind of look like this year?
Yeah, I mean, going back to my freshman year, I had Amory Skinner as a role model, and I think she's a great role model to see what leadership looks like. Last year, we obviously had a lot of freshmen coming in, so it was a little bit difficult to just jump right into that role, but I think as we went through the year and we're into next year, I think I've grown as a leader, and I also have a group of other leaders that can help support me, and they've been great. Kaylee, Cam, Claire, and Addison, who aren't here right now, but they've been great, and I think we've really been working really well together, and our freshmen have been awesome.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I was going to jump in because I want to ask Cam Marcondes.
You're going to ask the question I want to ask,
yes.
aren't you?
We'll see. Okay, Cam, you had a quite an interesting season last year. The talent was clearly there, and we would make jokes, not making fun of you, but it was so funny how close you were at so many goals. You would hit the crossbar, it would hit the post.
If almost was a stat, you ran away with it.
And then by the end of the season, it found the back of the net. Tell us a little bit about how you, I guess, brushed off that frustration of so many almost chances of scoring, and then you were huge at the end of the year, especially those last couple of games here at home. So tell us a little bit about your freshman year and how you grew and all that hard work was kind of finally paid off there at the end.
For the record, you did steal my question.
Yes.
I mean, it was definitely frustrating for me at first, but obviously, I played my role. I still created chances for my teammates to score. Sorry.
All good.
I still created chances for my teammates to score, so in that sense, it was kind of just whatever. Even though I'm not the one that's necessarily scoring, it's team effort. So, but I will say I think I definitely grew into the game. We always talk about how different it is between scoring and finishing, and really learning that difference. Obviously, I did. So hopefully this year it takes me a little less time. But, yeah.
You're scoring opening day, I'm calling it. Let me ask you this. You had so many freshman teammates last year, and, there's obviously a learning period where you guys have to learn each other's styles, and, eventually you think by the time you're seniors, you'll know who's going to be where at any certain spot. And talk to me a little bit about the growing comfort level that your class last year now has going into this year, as far as just kind of knowing how each other plays and how you can use that to your strengths.
Yeah, obviously our freshman class was pretty large coming in last year, so it was definitely a learning curve, but now we're definitely all comfortable with each other. I know what Kayla's going to do. She's super fast. I can just play her. She's going to run. She's going to get it. So I feel I'm comfortable with the team. I know what they're going to do with it. Abby Lush, I know she has speed too. I can play her and she's going to run onto it and she'll score. So.
Coach, let's get in a little bit to what your coaching staff looks like. It's going to be a little bit different this year. Tim McGuire comes on, Shannon McGovern as well. Talk a little bit about what those two kind of bring to your coaching staff.
Yeah, so super excited about our staff. We've obviously known Tim for a while since he was with the men's staff here, and we actually chatted when he first came to Greensboro, was looking to get into coaching, and he's been doing the clubs thing for a while, so he'll be with us. Certainly adds a lot of value in terms of technical awareness and things like that. And then Shannon McGovern we added late this summer at the recommendation of my buddy Aaron, who's a head coach at High Point, and I think she sees the game a different way and is going to be valuable to these guys. So Shannon had a really good first couple years of college, and then basically she says had to medically retire, had a couple knee surgeries her junior and senior year at High Point. So I think she views the game a different way. And one of the things when I was talking to Coach McGinnis from High Point, he said is one of the things that Shannon would do is, they would be on the sideline talking and she'd make a comment and he'd be like, oh, that's good. And, Aaron is typically doesn't give a lot of compliments. So for him to speak on her behalf, I think was good. And I think for these girls to have a female role model they can look up to is certainly good. And, we're excited to have her on staff.
Coach, one of the things that I've heard from many a coach in my time in the media world is that you can never have enough depth. And while obviously everybody would love that the 11 you send out on opening day or the 11 that play, the last game of the year, odds are just something is going to throw a wrench in those plans at some point in the year. Talk a little bit about some of the players who are going to see some time kind of in some of those positions and what they bring to the table and how important it is for them and to have them on your roster.
Well, I think at this level, a lot of people don't realize fall sports are so packed, whether it be volleyball with Coach Bo or men's soccer or field hockey or what have you. And the schedule seems like it's so condensed, right? So, we start September 1 and we play 18 games in the span of 2 months. That's a lot of soccer. If you look at it, it's a game every 3 days-ish, right? So I think depth just helps you. We talk about the 90-minute people, and at the end of last year we had, 5 or 6 90-minute kids. I would prefer that not be the case this year. And I think we have enough depth and enough talent to where we maybe have a bunch of 50-minute, 60-minute kids, right? And I look back at, programs that you idolize, as women's soccer players. Carolina's one of them. And I look at Carolina, they've been notorious over the years for being able to sub 11 for 11, and the maximum amount of minutes a kid get might be 60 minutes. So that adds up over the course of a year. So like this kid last year was a 90-minute kid, and if you look at the number of minutes she played last year, it's astronomical, and obviously she's hitting on all cylinders, super fit, but if you can limit those minutes, not limit the minutes, if you can maybe make those 70-minute games over the course of a year, it saves time on legs, and then we get to the playoffs, and I think everyone's fresher. And I think that's a huge benefit for us as well.
One thing I know for sure from last year, and I'm sure this year's roster is the same, is that when you did make those substitutions, there was no drop-off whatsoever. They just as good players coming in as were coming out.
I want to go kind of a roundtable question. You guys, especially since you've been here, Coach, you guys have gotten close from a conference tournament standpoint. I want to hear from each of you. If Greensboro College women's soccer is going to win a conference championship this year, what has to happen? Go first, Kaylee.
I think for us to win, we actually had a meeting about this and just what we want for the season, and we kind of came up with a thing that's all in. You have to be on in of all aspects, whether that's the soccer aspect, whether that's being the teammate that uplifts people, whether that's in the classroom, every aspect while you're here at this school, you need to be all in. You need to give it your best, be you, and also just be better than you were yesterday. So
love it.
Yeah.
Shay?
Yeah, what Kaylee said, I think everyone needs to be dedicated to showing up every day and working their hardest. The other thing I'll add is we've had a really good preseason. Every practice has been very high intensity, and I think if we continue to hold that level throughout the season, I don't doubt that we'll win the conference championship.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely echo what they both said. We need to be all in, we need to be dedicated, but I think we also just need to remember, we're playing for not just ourselves, we're playing for the team. So what Kaylee said, whether that be cheering your teammates on, whether that be you're out there, you're scoring goals, you're assisting goals, whatever, you need to play your role, and you need to remember, you're not playing for yourself, you're not putting the work in for yourself, you're putting the work in for the people that are surrounding you, that you love, and that you're working for.
Coach, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I think for me, we started with the umbrella this preseason of excellence is earned daily. I think that these girls have embodied that. We've let them take a much larger leadership role this year in terms of things we're doing in the locker room and creeds and things that they've picked. And, they picked the all-in hashtag, and we're going to hold them to it. And I think that, Dean Smith said years ago, to win a championship, you got to work hard, you got to be good, and you got to get lucky. So I think all three of those facets have to fall our way. But I think the hard work, the attitude and effort piece so far with this group has been remarkable. So I think if we can continue that in terms of all in, the hard work, the attitude, the effort, I like our chances, right? And I mean, winning a championship's hard. I mean, it's been 23 years. These girls are reminded of it every day with codes that we have and things like that, right? But it's a goal of ours, and I think that, we're to the point now with the talent in this program where we can certainly compete for conference championships, and that's our goal.
I'm really surprised nobody gave the obvious answer of when you score more goals than the other team, you normally win. But really quickly, Coach, we got a minute left here. Some key games on the schedule this year. Which game should we circle?
Yeah, great question.
All of them's not an answer. You did that last year.
All of them. Yeah, all of them, Kendrick.
Thanks.
All in, right? No, I think Eastern Mennonite is one that I would circle, is a huge game. I think the first game is always big, any game you play. And, last year you reminded me, 14 times before the opening night that we had never beaten Eastern Mennonite. We got our first win over them last year, in the series history. So I think going up there on the road, I think is big. And then we've got a stretch in the middle of the season. Now, mind you, our conference is very good. All 10 teams, very, very quality, all good coaching, all good recruiting classes. But we've got a stretch in the middle of the season where we're at Methodist, we're at Brevard, and then we're home to Southern Virginia in the span of 7 days. I think that stretch for this group is going to tell us a lot about where we are as a team, how we're going to compete with the upper echelon, because that traditionally has been kind of the quote-unquote top 4 teams in the conference, right? So, everything's an opportunity. And I've looked at that as, it's really an opportunity to see where we are and see where these guys stand. So I would say that week I kind of have circled on the calendar.
Well, Coach, ladies, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit, and we're so excited to see your journey begin next week. Well, I know it's already begun for you guys, but we get to see it really up close and personal next week, so we wish you all the best of luck this year.
Yeah, thanks, Kendrick.
Well, I would give you a preview of what we're going to talk about with our Director of Athletics, Jerry Fisk, but it's all over the place, so we got a lot of stuff coming up in the next segment with our Director of Athletics. GCA Live continuing in just a moment.
With Greensboro College sports in full swing, get the inside scoop with an all-new season of Greensboro College Athletics Live. Hear from coaches and players as they break down past performances and take a look at what's ahead. Also featuring special guests and alumni, GCA Live gets you closer to the action like never before. Stay tuned to Greensboro College Athletics social media for programming schedule and guest appearances. GCA Live, the official coaches show of Greensboro College Athletics.
Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
I just really felt like I was a person, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. All right, well, we are approaching the end of our first hour of our special year opening bash, whatever you want to call it, here on GCA Live. Kendrick Fruit, Stephen Whitenhouse. We're joined now by Jerry Fisk, Director of Athletics. And Jerry, a lot to get into, so let's just jump right into it. We'll start with just kind of a general where we've been before we look at where we're going. I know when we had our welcome back meeting last week with the student athletes, you kind of did a little synopsis of last year and some things to celebrate. Wondered if you wouldn't mind sharing some of that again.
Sure, I'd be happy to. It's always good to look back and celebrate what we've accomplished, because I think in the middle of it, sometimes it's hard to see those things. But when you get to the backside, if you're willing to look back, you really see some good stuff. We had we had 133 student athletes recognized with a 3.3 GPA or higher, and we had 30 of them that had a 3.9 or higher, which is outstanding, and that's recognized by the USA South and the ODAC, where wrestling and swimming compete, obviously. We had almost all of our teams in the playoffs. We had 3 teams that hosted playoff games. We had 2 regular season championships for volleyball and for baseball, and so it was a banner year. I think we may have finished 5th in the conference's season-ending point standings, but I don't know if that represented what we did in a lot of sports. I think we had a really, really good year. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you look back at last year, and I didn't know that about finishing 5th in the conference, but I felt like you could look at just about every team last year and say they took a step forward from 2024 into to 2025.
100%. And that's not even counting all conference. I think all conference between first, second, and third teams, we had 35. Obviously highlighted by a National Player of the Year in baseball and another first-team All-American in baseball in Trevor Testerman and Evan Sykes, respectively. So, yeah, just a great year, a lot of fun to be a part of, and looking forward to what the stories will be this year.
Yeah, so that's kind of a perfect segue into what is coming up for this year. Obviously, on the field, on the court, people wanting to build off of the seasons they had last year, but take us behind the scenes a little bit, if you can, of what kind of things are coming this way. Yeah,
so a lot of great stuff. I think the highlight for everyone for this, from what we've done this summer, has to be Pride Field. We were playing on a field that was 12 years old, and now to have our current Pride Field, it's an AstroTurf field. Shout out to Anthony Mealy for all of his help with it. But yeah, we now have a really high-end, brand-new turf field for all of our teams to compete on. New logos on it. You can see it in the picture. It's beautiful. Coming in the near future will be the addition of the press box and then additional bleachering. Working with the city on those things right now, and hope to see the press box go up in December. Some of the work that's being done is coming across my desk already. Just a lot of work with the city when you're doing some of the things that we're going to do. But I think
can that double as somewhere we can lock Steven if we need to?
I think it can be his permanent workspace.
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh, darn, I kind of wanted it. That's okay. We'll figure that out later.
He can stay in your office and you can go out there.
Yes, okay, that works.
Genius.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. It's fantastic. I think it'll change so much for us. It'll change the whole look and feel of the stadium. Working on Phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be taking some of our current bleachers and putting them at the main building end of the field with the other bleachers where our current sit. We're going to feel like we have a stadium, not a practice field with some bleachering. I think it's really going to change the way that looks and feels and dress our space up a lot.
Jerry, let's talk a little bit about some other things that are coming up. We have Homecoming and Hall of Fame not all that far down the road here, just a handful of weeks. Talk a little bit about what that weekend is going to look like. And then obviously, we actually just, put out the ticket link for the Hall of Fame. So just give us a preview of what Homecoming weekend is going to look like.
Sure.
Busy.
Busy. Yeah, busy. We're all going to have deserved our Sundays. But Thursday night will actually be our first event, which is the Board of Directors gathering for the Pride Club. In support of our fundraising efforts, we'll have a 10-person board of directors that will meet for the first time Thursday evening. Friday morning, we'll have the lock tournament and everything that comes with that. Excited to be out at Forest Oaks this year for a 9 o'clock shotgun. So all the fun to be had there. And then we quickly transition back to campus for a 5:15 cash bar, a 6 o'clock dinner, shortly after 7 ceremony for the Hall of Fame, where, breaking news, we're putting in 3 individuals and a team. Unfortunately, one of the individuals we were putting in is not able to make it for a couple of reasons, and so this class will be one smaller but still mighty. I think we've got some great people going in this year. With a few sports represented, and then a team going in as well. So 94-95 men's basketball. Amy Gibson from volleyball.
Yeah.
Jess Maloney, who absolutely mashed the ball for baseball. And Kevin Biesecker, a men's basketball player that probably had what it took to go in a long time ago, but he doesn't have one thing that stands out. He was just good at everything.
Right.
And he led by example and floor burns and everything else. So you put all those together, I think that's a great crew. And now, because we have a challenge with one of our inductees, we have the first member of the class of 2027 all set and ready to roll. So we're going to make a positive out of it. But yeah, that's that weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. We, a 1 o'clock men's soccer game and then a 6 o'clock football game under the lights. We did pretty well against SVU in football 2 years ago when we had them here, and then last year it didn't go our way. So
Had a chance, though.
Yeah, we did.
Led at halftime.
But I think we're now excited to get them back here
Yes.
this year under the lights. Really exciting that our first 3 football games are all under the lights, as you pointed out earlier. But before last year, we'd never had a night game. And now more than half of our schedule is under the lights, which is just a really cool setting. It's a lot of fun. It was fun to hear from all of the alumni and other folks that I did after our night game last year.
Well, that's one of the things you talk about the night game. Last year we had the one against Brevard, and it was packed.
It felt different.
It was the biggest crowd I've seen, at any event on Pride Field. And I think the time, the day, it works out perfect for so many people. It gets us out of the heat.
It does.
So it's going to be a really good atmosphere, I think, for all of those games. Of course, you look at the Soup Bowl, that's going to be probably even more packed than the Brevard game was. So having football under the lights is going to be really cool. Let's shift gears a little bit.
Sure.
We're going to talk with you a little bit actually about our men's golf team. We're going to preview the men's golf season and a little bit about cross country as well. We'll start with men's golf. They have a lot of talent coming in. They lost FIFA Shankarn, who made nationals back-to-back years. He was not only just an unbelievable golfer, but a great student athlete and a great young man. So tell us a little bit about the golf team this year and kind of what you and Coach Steve Johnson are looking for.
Yeah. Last year we had a good team. FIFA was obviously the best player on the team. He had a lot of under par rounds, and the rest of the team had just a couple of under par rounds. They were typically around par, some of them. So it's hard to replace the person that's number 60 in the rankings. But what we've done is we brought in the number 63 person in the rankings, who is transferred in. Excited to have Chase Meyer here with us. By all accounts, I've been following what they've been doing in qualifying, and Chase is playing great. He's picking up where he left off last year. But yeah, we've got a lot of depth this year. We had 5 transfers come in. One had spent 4 years in the Army and is coming back. A couple of them from just up the road at Averett. One from Adrian. And then a high-profile freshman from Florida, and Liam. And I think we're all excited about all of those student athletes. And yeah, as I mentioned, qualifying right now is going great. Chase shot an 80 in the first round, not necessarily Chase golf, but has responded and is even par through 4 rounds. So his next 3 rounds, he was 8 under total. And we've got a total of 8 guys who are 8 over or better through 4 rounds of qualifying. So we've got a lot of depth this year. I think even some of the guys that came back are playing better than they did last year. I think they worked really hard, and so it's exciting. The schedule is slightly different than it was last year. We realized that we were making a trip to Florida and seeing the same teams we were seeing here. So instead of doing that, the team is taking a trip north to Ohio so that they see some different competition. I think there's a lot of things pointed the right direction. There's top to bottom a lot of competition in this team. Last year, FIFA he played in every tournament. He didn't really have to qualify because he was the reigning All-American and he was leading everything. And now this year, there's a lot more competition from the top to the bottom, including Christian Beaker, who battled an injury a lot of the year last year. He's second in qualifying right now, and Harris Wilson is right behind him, and so really exciting stuff. I think the golf team is going to do well this year. There are also some tournaments where they're taking an A and a B team to try and get those guys out there in tournament golf, which for any of us that have played, it's under the screws. It's under the spotlight, whereas the rounds where you're just out and qualifying and things like that are different.
Let me ask you this. So, and this is less about the players specifically, and I know as an avid golfer, you'll know a little bit about just the headspace of what it takes to play around, especially competitively. One of the things that it felt like the struggle with the team last year was consistency. Somebody would go shoot a 84, then they'd shoot a 70, and just kind of, a great round, but it was offset by what happened earlier or the other way around. Talk a little bit about what needs to happen, either mentally or whether it be, having to cut down on, a putt here or maybe sacrifice a little distance off of the tee somewhere. How do you get into that more consistent round or level of playing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that our team is working on, and it's actually, they got it today, is head coach Steve Johnson is working with Scott Harvey. Played in some big events. I think he played in the Masters at one point. He's local here in Greensboro. And they work through yardages and what it means if you're over a green versus short of a green, and playing to a number and playing smarter golf. Because we have so many student athletes on the golf team that can really hit the golf ball, but they don't think their way around the golf course the same way that those of us that are a little older have to do. And so they're working on some of those kind of things and working to create tournament-like settings in practice so that they're ready and they don't get the bright lights don't hit them when they get out there for the grounds that count.
Jerry, let's kind of go a little bit as we kind of wrap up these next couple minutes. Let's talk a little bit about cross country. I'm going to have an interim coach, and I think there's some talented runners on this roster, especially on the women's side. Tell us a little bit about cross country and kind of where both programs are at.
Yeah. So, excited to – first of all, we're adding 2 sports. That didn't come up at the beginning, but one of them that we're adding is track to go along with our cross country. One of the things we've realized is that runners want to run, and so by giving them a track program to go along with cross country, I think it'll help both programs. That being said, we do have an interim cross country coach this year. Sandra Clancy is the wife of Matt Clancy, who's helped out triathlon for several years. She's a great fit. I think that everyone is enjoying it. I think they're in maybe day 4 of practice right now. They're getting after it. We've had some students from campus that are interested in running that weren't recruited for the cross country team come out, and I believe right now we may have 7 cross country runners in total. But I think based on early reports, everyone's having a good experience. They're running to get better, but they're also enjoying their time. And if you're going to go out and run that many miles, I hope it's fun.
That is a good point. Well, let's kind of expound upon what you just mentioned with track. The other sport is going to be cheer. Talk a little bit about that. We came out with that news, I guess, about a month ago now.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how that came about and what the
Steven
timeline
has
is.
spirit. Yes, he does.
I don't have not that spirit.
Cheer is something that Greensboro College had for quite a long time. They actually had it until COVID, and it was one of the sports that went away with COVID. And there's been a push for a number of, my 2 years, I guess that's the number, from the president and vice president Doss and others that they'd like to see a cheer program, because I do think it changes the game day experience, whether it's in the basketball court or whether it's at the football games or whatever it might be. And so, we're looking to add a competitive cheer team. This is the kind of team that not only will cheer at our contest, but will also go to regional competitions. They'll also go to their own nationals. There are 2 different options. We'll see what the new coach has for thoughts, but they will be competing just like the rest of our teams are competing, which I think is something that was important to me. I've had teams that were more club, and I've had teams that were more, we are a competitive athlete, a competitive team, and we're going to get after it like everyone else, and that's what I wanted. And so I think that'll be a fun addition to campus.
What kind of factors go into deciding what programs to add? Is it, financial feasibility? Is it, location? Is it, we had a history. We had a tennis program in the 90s. What kind of factors go into deciding what we're adding?
Yeah, I think those go into it. I think part of it is it a fit for Greensboro College? I think we had women's soccer and football on earlier. Men's soccer, lacrosse, and lacrosse all share Pride Field. I'd love to add flag football, fastest growing sport going, but field space is limited, so it puts us in a different spot. I think part of the appeal for these two sports were, one, we have a school just down the road that's interested in letting us use their track, and then for the cheer program, we have the mats, we have the uniforms, we have most of the sunk costs to get it off the ground because we just had it 5 years ago. And so I think those two things made it those two programs a fit. Yeah, we're still looking at others. I think that as we look to help enrollment at Greensboro College, I think that anytime that we can add a program that will self-sustain, make campus more full, better, more exciting place, I think we have to look at those programs. And I don't think I'm sharing the secrets, but is women's golf a fit? Are either of the tennises a fit? Do we have a second field for flag football? I think those are other things. Women's sand volleyball, I think that's something that there'd be a lot of people excited about. Men's volleyball, having had that at the college level, that's a very exciting sport. So a lot of things that we could still consider. It's what are our facility limitations, office limitations? Is there a support for it at the high school level regionally, which is our recruiting footprint? We do have teams that do a lot of recruiting out of state, but we have a lot of teams that do a lot of heavy recruiting in state. And I think the data suggests that most private schools like us do most of the recruiting in a 100-mile radius. So if the sport's not being played somewhere between Charlotte and Raleigh, it might not be a fit. So it's all of those things. Fortunately, I've got a lot of people that put a lot of good thought into it, and they help make all of these decisions.
Well, I'll tell you this, as we're hitting the end of this segment here. In the 70s and early 80s, although Greensboro College was not a participant, the USA South, then the Dixie Conference, did have bowling. So just if anybody wants to bring back bowling, that's my pitch for that. But Jerry, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We're excited for what's coming up this year. We're excited for what's coming up in the next hour. We're halfway through GCA Live, and next we will hear from volleyball, one of the teams that last year, an incredible 28-3 year. We're going to hear how they're building off of that this season. That's coming up next on GCA Live.
The biggest thing that Greensboro College helped me prepare for was the soft skills. Communication, hard work mentality, the always show up, be engaged with what you're doing. The best piece of advice I could give to someone who is looking at schools is look for a school that looks at you. Don't look for somewhere treating you as if you're just a number. You're a person, and you deserve to be given the education that makes you stand out as a person.
Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
I just really felt like I was a person, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. And we are back here on GCA Live with volleyball, one of the teams that I'm personally super excited for this season. We're joined by head coach Dan Bozarth, Brecken Barr, Grace Young. Guys, I have to tell you, last year was my first full season watching volleyball, and holy cow, that was fun. Yeah. It was just so much fun. I don't know what else to tell you other than the fact I kind of went into my first game like, I don't know what this is going to be all about. And about 2 points in, I went, oh, yeah, it's on. This is going to be a fun year. So we're so excited you guys are here with us today. Coach, I'm going to start you the same way we've started everybody so far. Just kind of give us a roster breakdown. This is also going to be our preseason preview video that's going out on social media. So give us a little roster breakdown. A lot of new faces this year because you had such a big senior class last year, but still a lot of big returners as well. So what's it look like on paper?
Yeah, I think we go back to our senior class again. We have quite a few seniors again this year, some great leadership. 2 of them here with us today, some great captains. They kind of lead the way for us. I think whenever you're talking about Greensboro College this year, you're going to talk about Peyton Shiflett. You're going to talk about Morgan Mayfield, 2 players that we weren't expecting to be back when we left the court in November last year, but here they are. So reigning Conference Player of the Year, reigning Libero of the Year. They're going to get a lot of highlights for us this year for sure. But then we rounded off with a great senior class for sure. We have some great returners coming back. Excited for Larkin Baxley kind of stepping into the setter role. And then we have some awesome newcomers, 2 transfers that are going to help us out a lot. Abigail Leo from Emory and Henry has stepped in. It feels like she's been here for 4 years already. But she just got here last spring, and she's just been one of our most efficient hitters from the spring and in our scrimmage this past Saturday. And then picking up Madison Bozart is another weapon, I think, for us. Solid passer on the back line. She was one of the top servers in the conference last year, so that certainly helps. And then we got a great group of freshmen that are going to push for playing time, and they're going to help us out quite a bit.
Coach, you mentioned Morgan and Peyton coming back this year. I want to know personally, how difficult was it for you this offseason, knowing they were kind of in limbo and you still have to fill out your roster? Was it difficult to be like, well, here's our plan with them, here's our plan without them? How'd you put it together?
I think we just prayed a lot that they were going to be here anyways. And it just ended up happening. So, but we were thankful. We were excited about the incoming class we had regardless. And we felt like if they weren't coming back, we could find some players. But they're just so hard to replace whenever you get great players in the program. But super excited about the freshman group, excited about them. Just a great group of people to work with and have on the court.
Let's talk a little bit about one of those returners, Peyton Shiflett. Conference Player of the Year for the second time in her career. What we want to kind of know is, what is the plan for her coming off a little bit of an injury? What's the plan for her in terms of rotation and kind of, is she getting eased into it, or is she fully healthy, ready to go? Kind of give us an update on her.
I think that's one of the biggest challenges for us as a coaching staff, is trying to manage her, because she wants to play all in every play. And I've actually gotten onto her practice a few times already this year for diving for a ball in like a 2-on-2 fun game that really doesn't matter, and she's diving towards the bleachers and just going all out. But that's just who she is, and it's very hard to kind of dial her back into what we want her to do as a coaching staff. So we're just going to have to play it game by game, working with our athletic training staff, making sure that we're doing the right things in terms of taking care of her. But, I mean, that's the same for all our girls here in the program, just making sure we're doing the right things. But definitely we're going to have to, especially on back-to-backs and some of these early season tournaments, we're probably going to be using some extra back row players to get her off the court a little bit and give her some time off, just to try to manage and keep her healthy through the year. It's a grind, especially with somebody who swings as much as she does in games, so just trying to be smart.
Coach, conference championship or no, notwithstanding, last year 28-3, heck of a season, and obviously your first season as head coach here. How do you improve off of what you guys were able to accomplish last year? And maybe if we allow you to be nitpicky here, what are a few areas that you would like to see your team get better at this year?
Yeah, I think for us, kind of our theme or our first thing that we talked about this year was the Kobe quote that says, "Job's not finished." So we left the court last year with some unfinished business. So coming back into it this year, 28-3, there's room to improve. And I showed them the picture of, I think, the 1990 women's volleyball team here at Greensboro College that won 31 matches and went to the NCAA tournament. Those are goals. Like, we have some stuff left to prove, and we want to be historic when we finish this year. So looking at all that, taking and making sure that we understand that every time we step on the court, we have a target. Last year when we came on the court, we were the 4th place Greensboro College team that got knocked out in the first round of the tournament. Now we're the 18-0 conference champ Greensboro College team that everybody's trying to like replace in terms of the tops of the conference. So for us, that's kind of our mindset going in, is like we got to be ready every single time out, because people are trying to prove against us who they are. So in terms of competition, like we're going to see it in our first match this year with Washington Lee, kind of where we are. I think we want to get better in every phase, but we were very efficient last year. We were second best blocking team in the conference. We served it very well. I think we can be better in all those categories this year with some of the size that we brought in with our incoming class and transfers. So I'm looking forward to that. And just, we want to be regionally ranked. We want to make it to the NCAA tournament. I told the girls, I want to be on ESPN. I want to play for a national championship. It sounds kind of crazy, but
that's where the NIL money is, right?
We want to dream big, and that's our hope.
Dan, talk a little bit about your roster from last year. So I think with Mo and Peyton, it was 9 seniors. So I think it's now 7 that you lost total. Tell us how you kind of replenish the roster. You've got a lot of talented freshmen coming in this year, along with Abigail Leo transfer. Tell us a little bit about the depth of your roster, and maybe, if anything, what looks different from last year.
Yeah, I think for us, obviously, we lost some key players, two really great starting middles. We lost Kelsey Brooks on the outside. We lost a great setter. So having Larkin step in as a setter, and also Emery, who's going to get some time in that position as well as a freshman. They have big shoes to fill, but I'm excited for that. One of my goals in the recruiting process was to get more physical and get bigger. So we brought in a 6-foot pin. We brought in a 6'1" middle, a 6'2" middle, a 6'3", 6'4" middle right side. So physically, we're going to look a little bit different when we walk in the gym. And then we add in somebody like Sydney Beck, freshman from Florida, who jumps out the gym. So we have all those incoming players that are going to add some depth and size and physicality to the program, along with our returners, and plus Peyton Wright, who's coming back after a year off from volleyball, and I think she's going to be a big piece to what we do this year.
Well, turning our attention over here to this side of the table, Brecken, obviously you're part of the senior leadership here, and tell me a little bit of just kind of the mindset of everybody, but your senior class specifically, of you were this close last year, but you got to take it one step further. So how do you do that?
Yeah, I think as a senior class, we all have a pretty strong mindset of like, we only have one more, and we want to make sure that we make the most of this year together. I think that's the biggest thing, is doing it together, doing it for each other. We know that we're able to. We were right there last year. Something we've talked a lot about is like, yes, that's what we want to do again, but if there is setbacks, if there is losses, if we don't go 18-0 in conference, it's how we respond to that and how we move forward from it, rather than taking that and being like, dang, like we're not where we were last year, because in all reality, you don't have to go 18-0 to win the conference tournament championship. So I think that's something that we're holding on to, of like, we know we can, we know we were there, and we just want to push to do it for each other one last time.
Well, that's a great point too. Like, is it hard to think back and be like, well, this is how it was last year? How do you stay focused on it's a different team, it's a different year?
I think that's something that we keep reminding each other of, because we as returners know, like, we went 18-0. The other students who are coming to watch us play, like, they didn't see us lose. Like, they expected a win every time they walked in that gym. And for our freshmen who weren't there, or our transfers who weren't there, they know that that's what they're coming into as well. And so it is a lot of pressure on us. It is pushing us to continue to keep that up, so we don't have to have any losses in our home gym, or anywhere for that matter. But I think just remembering that it is a different season. We have different players, the teams in our conference look different as well. So as much as we can say, this is what we did last year, we've got other teams in our conference who have brought in great players as well, and we're going to have to adapt to that on the go. So,
Kendrick, I actually think these two are up here because they're our interns.
Yeah, we're just hanging out. It feels like we're just having a good time.
And they're awesome. So that's why they're up here. No, actually, this is for both of you. Our back line is probably, from a USA South Division III standpoint, one of the best back lines in the country coming into this year. It is absolutely loaded, and you two are a part of that. How so far in preseason, how has that kind of come together? How has the chemistry gone? We talked about, multiple additions, and, backline included. How have you guys started to mesh so far in preseason?
I honestly think, if you're a back row player, you should be able to play any of the back row positions. And I feel like we have 6 DSs on the team, and we all do a great job throughout practice. We're constantly playing right back, middle back, left back. We're in every single position. And I think that just gives us a bunch of looks from each angle on the court. But we're also competing with each other. Like you said, we have a really good team this year. We're going against some of the best hitters that we have, some of the best setters. So, we're constantly on our toes as back row players, and we just keep pushing each other. We're trying to see who gets the best serve receive pass. And Coach Bo and Jalen, they do a great job statting practices this year and last year as well. And I think we're honestly just all competing with each other. So, yeah.
Go ahead, Brett.
I also think, with every position group on our team, we try our best to push each other. We're competing with each other rather than against each other. But I would say that's something we do really well as a passing group. In the middle of a drill, we'll stop, we'll look at each other and make a goal. We're getting 10 good passes in a row. And it's not individually, I need to pass better than Grace. I want me and Grace to both pass for the better of our team. I think that's something that we do really well. I think it helps that we're all very good friends and super close in our position group, but ultimately we're happy for whoever is on the court, and we just want to keep pushing each other every day to get better.
Absolutely. Kind of shifting towards that. You guys have been here for a while. Brecken, you've been here all 4 years. Just answer honestly, how hungry are you to win a conference title this year?
Oh, I want it so bad. Being in the conference final my freshman year, the quarterfinal my sophomore year, the final again my junior year, we've been there. We've experienced the loss 3 times. I personally don't want to experience it again. I want that ring.
What would it mean to both of you, just from career-wise, personally, being your last year of volleyball? What would that be like in your mind? I know you guys...
Making Steven really happy.
That would be awesome. I get my conference championship T-shirt finally. You guys, you kind of do some, visionary exercises. You're looking at, you're visualizing yourself, winning that conference crown, hopefully on Haynes Gym. What does that do to kind of cap off your last season of volleyball?
Honestly, it's just something really special. Like you've said, we've been here for a while together. We've played with each other, and we've just grown up together. We hang out outside of volleyball. We work our butts off in preseason with all of our preseason tests. And I think it's a goal that all of us really, truly want and we're hungry for. And I don't know, I can see it in my mind. The little image of all of us at the end of the year, just being super happy for each other that we did it together.
We can too. That's why we're really excited.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you, obviously, not saying you guys couldn't go 18-0 in conference again, because absolutely you could, but I wonder, is the metric or the measure of getting to where you want to go maybe different this year compared to last year? Because traditionally, you don't get a lot of at-large help in the USA South. It's win the conference, you go to the NCAA tournament. Yeah. Do you look at certain games, especially obviously you're not trying to lose anything, but, do you maybe prep for a non-conference game a little differently than the conference game, knowing, conference game helps you towards winning the conference, maybe a non-conference game doesn't? How do you approach those?
Honestly, we approach everything the same way. We try to win every single time we step on the court. We had a conversation early this year with the girls about, we put so much emphasis on that Southern Virginia loss last year, but what if we had beaten Lynchburg early in the year? They're a top 25 team. Would that have gotten us into the tournament? Because I think we're the second team out of making the NCAA tournament. So I think every time we step on the court, the goal is to win every single game. And that's I hope, and I think we have the talent and we have the ability to do that with the schedule that we have. And if we win every game, they can't deny us and they can't keep us out of the NCAA tournament. So that's our hope for sure.
Let me ask you guys about an assistant coach that used to be a teammate. I see the smiles on your faces there, Jalen Templeton, joining the coaching staff this year. Talk a little bit about what that's been like having her now from a teammate to a coach, and then kind of the experience as a player that she can bring into a coaching role.
I mean, honestly, like, she was a really good player last year, and she helped us out a lot, like, all of the years that I've been here. But I don't know, like, if you've watched Jalen on the court, she just has so much energy, and you can tell, like, she's not only passionate about the game, but, like, she wants to win. And we're starting to see that as her, like, with her being our coach this year. And she just, like, she's very smart and intelligent with the game of volleyball, has great volleyball IQ, and she's really given that to us this year. But I'm excited to see her on the sidelines against some refs and stuff. So I'm excited.
That is going to be exciting. Dan, talk a little bit about that with Jalen now on your staff. I thought Maddie Page did a great job last year, and now Jalen Templeton comes on staff. Tell us a little bit about her role and kind of being unique in the sense that obviously she just graduated. She just played 4 years here. She was, one of the best setters in Greensboro College volleyball history. Just tell us a little bit about, kind of what you've seen from her so far.
Yeah, well, first off, I just want to say I have so much respect for her as a player, like having coached her last year and being our setter and helping out with just leadership and everything. For a first-year coach, having a senior setter like her made my job really, really easy. So to be able to transfer her into a coaching role, I think setters usually make really good coaches because they have good IQ, they see the game very, very well, and she's passionate about Greensboro College, and I think that helps as well. So just super excited to have her on staff, and I think she wants to be here for a while, which is awesome. And I think she wants to be a great coach and a great mentor to the people we have coming into the program. So just excited to have her around.
For you two, without a doubt, the atmosphere at volleyball games last year was tops amongst any Greensboro College sporting event. And so I just kind of wonder, as a player, like, how much do you feed off of that? Because for me, I think I would go too far. I'd be too amped up. So how do you get excited from it, but still be like, I got to stay within myself and do what I need to do at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, Haynes Gymnasium is the best place to be on campus, I think, in the fall. But I think, I think as a team, we do a really good job of, like, when we're on the bench, we're feeding off the crowd, or after a big point, we're feeding off the crowd. But I think we do a really good job of, like, when we're settling into the play starting, you kind of zone that out and quiet your mind. And for me personally, I know, like, if I'm back on the serving line and I don't hear a thing. I tone it out. I'm in the game. That's my job while I'm there. And I think for the most part, that's kind of the mindset of, like, we'll use it when it's appropriate to use it, but we still have a job to do. And if we're not doing our job, they're not giving us that. So we got to make sure we're doing our part, and they'll keep doing theirs.
Why don't you switch mics, Grace, because I want you to answer that too. I think that speaks to the experience as well. I mean, I think a lot of younger players or inexperienced players would maybe feed too much into it, and it is easy to do, but I think that's huge when you talk, especially when you're going on the road as well, because I'm sure you have some tough environments on the road, and the experience that you guys have, you can kind of tone that out. Go ahead.
So one of my, like, volleyball idols that I really watch is Lainey Choboy, and I try to, like, just pursue things like the way that she does. But if you've ever watched her, like, she turns around and she gets the crowd, like, into the game, and she's constantly, like, looking at them, making sure that they're watching the game. Everybody's, like, super hype. We have one of the best volleyball gyms here to do that, and we really use it. During practices, our practices are loud. We have music going, so we already get the feel of everything to, like, prepare us for games and situations like that. So then once we're in the moment, everybody's screaming and yelling. Like, that's what we really use to feed off of. But at the same time, like Brecken said, once that point's over, it's on to that next point. So you have to have that goldfish mentality. Like, doesn't matter what happened before. If we got the point, if we lost it, we're on to the next point.
Coach, really quickly, last question before we let you guys go. No ramp-up period this year. You're jumping right in with a big opponent in Washington and Lee. And so last minute here, just kind of talk to me a little bit about how important it is to get off to a good start against a big opponent.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I want to challenge our team. I want to see what we can do against one of those nationally ranked type opponents. And Washington Lee certainly is one of the top teams in the ODAC every single year. So for us to step on the court, I made sure that they came to us this year so they can experience Haynes Gym for sure. But I think it's just a test for us. First match out, just to kind of see where we are, see where our newcomers are, see where our new lineups are, see where our new rotations are, and then we just grow from there.
Well, I will tell you guys, from the second that the conference championship ended last year, one thing Steven and I said as we were cleaning up was, I can't wait for next year because I know that it's going to be a fun year. Guys, it is here. We're so excited for this season. Thank you guys for joining us here today, and best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Greensboro College Athletics Live continuing in just a moment. The Director of Athletic Development.
Flow Sports has changed the game. We created the essential destination NCAA fans deserve. Together, Flow College and NCAA conferences, institutions, and teams have taken all collegiate sports to the next level.
Oh my goodness! Back to Jones. She lets it fly from deep, and she buries it. Oh, and a wraparound. He's got some speed down the sideline. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
The new collegiate record belongs to Parker Valby.
In front, Stockfish, offload shot, score!
Smith making three. That is crushed.
It's a touchdown!
Oh, we don't? Okay. All right. Hey, we welcome you back into GCA Live. We are here now with our Director of Athletic Development, Rob Hevner. Rob, first off, thank you for hanging out with us today, and another exciting year, I think, on tap for Greensboro College Athletics. And just talk a little bit kind of about what you got planned for this year. I know you talked to us off the camera. There's some exciting stuff on tap.
Absolutely. A lot of exciting stuff. And thanks again. What a great 25-26 calendar, sports, Greensboro College Athletics experience. So many neat things happen. But I had a long summer. I don't take the summer off.
Right.
I still go out there and work and still supporting school, and it's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of really new opportunities. So, but 26, 27, the energy just to be back. Walking around campus, Pride Field. How good looking is Pride Field? Oh my God, yeah. It's there. We've been talking about it for a while, and then boom, it's here. And
that silver in the end zone is just it pops.
Hot.
Yeah,
it pops. People are going to be real excited. Men's and women's soccer coming up here. Obviously, the big football game. We won't talk about that other school across town. But tell everybody a little bit about my role, Director of Athletic Development. So if you get the call from me and we go to lunch, it's going to be a pretty expensive lunch. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But no, so we really started reaching out and did the corporate sponsorship. And I look at it as not a donor thing. This here is a partnership. We bring a lot of positive things to that potential corporate sponsor. I will say today, and I'm going to go through our sponsors here in a minute, but just today I spent a couple of hours with a district manager of probably my favorite fast food restaurant, and I can't tell you the name, but they have dirty rice and they serve green beans.
Gotcha.
And I know our volleyball coach is very excited about
all
it.
All right.
It is that time.
Sweet.
We know. So they're very excited.
Okay, in the chat, everybody say who you think this is.
We're very excited. But a lot of things going on. Yeah, so in no particular order, no priority at all, just want to thank the sponsors from 25-26, and because of kind of the timing and everything, they'll carry over. Country Barbecue off of Wendover, please go visit Jerome. That's probably my favorite place to eat too. barbecue, ribs, pork tenderloin, breakfast.
Rob, I haven't had dinner yet. You're doing a number on me right now.
Strength and Body Gym, a really neat place there. Technical, great gym off of Spring Garden West Market. Hotel Denham, I think a lot of the coaches and student athletes, visitors have expressed, stay there and they've reached out to them. Midtown Body Repair, we may get them to do a little special thing during some of the baseball games.
With the foul balls. I mean, we joked about that last year.
But they've come aboard. I believe it's their 50th year in business.
Do not park near the ball field at the Ted.
At Ted Litter Park.
Do not do that. Word of advice.
I always park way on the other side.
It's worth the walk.
Finn Dentistry. So a lot of our student athletes, Finn Dentistry, you can actually walk to from campus. So parents know that we're very well taken care of. Great dental practice there. Elevation Strategies is an alum, John Hardister, and that's an interesting business. And more than happy to click on the icon there and the website and check them out. First Carolina Mortgage is primary residential mortgages, and that's actually John's father, Wayne Hardister, longtime primary mortgage banker, business guy, great around town. Triad Eye Associates, and we have Town Bank has come aboard as a sponsor in Classic Import Auto Service. They're here literally just across campus, and I'll tell you, someone high up in our school, he uses them, and he may be the president. And I know he takes his car there.
Rob with the T over here.
Tell us more.
Exactly. And Northwestern Mutual just came aboard here over the summer. 2 alums, Jeff Jackman and Joshua Powell. So exciting for them. I will say, do want to reach out and thank again Daryl's. I know we're not in Daryl's right now. It feels kind of strange, but it's a great place to have the kickoff bash here. Daryl's Woodfire Grill will be, I think, we'll be visiting their venue again for some of the GC Alive shows, athletic shows. So, so that's kind of it. I will say there's a lot of neat things going on. I'll talk a little bit about as we come up, as we support the program and the athletics. We have the Lock Golf Tournament coming up. If you would like to support that, play in it, we have it. The link is on our website, and feel free to reach out to me for questions, for sponsorship opportunities. I will say it's at Forest Oaks. October is absolutely fantastic. That course will be in great shape. That's the former site of the Wyndham, which was the GGO, which was the Greater Greensboro. There's a lot of things, but a bunch of pro golfers have stepped foot on that course. So come out and experience where the pro golfers have played. Great venue. 9 o'clock shotgun. We'll have a lunch. I will say we just signed a lunch sponsor. And they're going to be a very big supporter of the tournament as well. That's FedEx Freight.
Awesome.
That is another alum, Lisa Wall. She's been great, very supportive. And FedEx Freight, and there'll be a lot of teams in there. They're excited about being a big supporter. Classic Import Auto Service will also have a tea tent. They'll be on a tee, and they're going to give out some prizes close to the pink, I think. I'm not going to give you too many special surprises, but we may have a long drive guy there that's really cool, trick artist.
Now, you're planning on being on the winning team, right?
It's, I'm just be happy to be out there. If I can make a putt for somebody, I'll be happy.
A bad day of golf's better than a good day at work.
Amen.
Exactly. The last thing, too, I wanted to talk about, this is going to be new for us, kind of relaunching, re-imaging, reinvigorating the Pride Club. And so we'll have at select home games for a lot of different teams, football, soccer, lacrosse, volleyball, pretty much all the sports. We're going to try to have an event venue there for the Pride Club. Family friendly. Hopefully we'll have some goodies, some popcorn, drinks. Hopefully Leo the Lion will show up at some of those events, shake hands with the kiddos. Really want to get them in the Junior Pride Club. But really want to reach out to the alums and say, look, bring your family to the game. Maybe you haven't been on campus in a while. Great chance to introduce your family to where you spent some of those formative 4 years, and walk over, shake hands with me. Love to meet you. Love to hear about your story. But the Pride Club will be at select home games, and we'll have some goodies, giveaways, and really hope you can support the Pride.
Rob, how can people and businesses reach out to you and get some more information or figure out how to get that partnership started?
Absolutely. Thanks, Kendrick. So obviously, email is great, robert.hefner@greensboro.edu. My cell phone, look, call me, text me. Try not to take any calls after 9 o'clock, but feel free. I think my contact information is on the website, but 336-601-6140. Again, Robert Hefner, Director of Athletic Development, and we'd love to just have the conversation. I know I'm taking an alum to lunch tomorrow, and we've got a good, hopefully a lot of good things will come from there. He played soccer here.
Okay.
So I know he's excited about Jake and his team this
Sure.
year. And so, but no, it's a lot of fun. I really have enjoyed this role, getting to know the alums and hearing their stories. And it's fairly consistent across the board. They just talk about how they feel so connected to their coach and the student body, the teachers, because it's such a small environment. Everybody knows their name, and they were just so happy to be on campus here.
Well, Rob, thank you so much, and we're excited for everything you've got coming up this year. And I know that Greensboro College Athletics in a much better position thanks to all the work you've done with getting some partnerships. I'm pretty excited about that, so thank you so much.
You got it, guys. Hey, man, go Pride.
All right, well, hey, we're going to wrap things up here with the preseason bash men's soccer preview coming up next on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
With Greensboro College sports in full swing, get the inside scoop with an all-new season of Greensboro College Athletics Live. Hear from coaches and players as they break down past performances and take a look at what's ahead. Also featuring special guests and alumni, GCA Live gets you closer to the action like never before. Stay tuned to Greensboro College Athletics social media for programming schedule and guest appearances. GCA Live, the official coaches show of Greensboro College Athletics.
Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, you know, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, you know, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that like led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. Well, last but certainly not least, here on our preseason preview on GCA Live, it is men's soccer, and joined now by four guys fresh out of practice. So you guys are putting in the work here today. Jalen King, Jay Deanna, Omer Sakiv, and Coach Jake Weinshank. Coach, I'm going to start you off the same way that we've asked every coach to start their segment off, and it's just a general roster breakdown. Tell me who we're going to see this year and your thoughts just in general on your roster.
Yeah, we're really excited about this roster. I think we're deeper than we've ever been. We have good players at every position and a good reserve at every position at that. So I think we'll be able to rotate players really nicely and stay fresh on the field. And we'll have some real standouts as well. The three around me, of course, will be expected to play big roles. We have the Rookie of the Year coming back and Gustav, and several really, really exciting freshmen on the team. And I think, unlike last year, we have a lot more seniors and some really good senior leadership in the group and some really mature players that I think are going to bolster us as well.
Jake, talk a little bit about last year as I switch the camera. Last year was, an unbelievable turnaround, right? Your first year leading the program, the year before was a little rough. And then last year, you guys just kind of, in a way, come out of nowhere, and you guys host a first-round conference tournament game. Tell us a little bit about now that you've gotten that full year of just being able to reflect on last year and everything that you and Coach Del Cid, all the efforts you guys have put into recruiting and obviously on the field. There's probably a lot of answers to this, but what are you most proud of so far out of this first year? Because I think it's something that you don't see a ton in terms of the turnaround that you guys had from 2 years ago to last year.
Yeah, I mean, it's really all the players. We have a system, and the guys have, in terms of our culture, in terms of how we play, in terms of the standards and expectations, and the players all really adopted it quickly, took it as their own, and that's been the difference for this group. And we saw it last year, and I think from the start of this year, we've seen just the next level, next progression of that. So, I'm just proud of the guys buying in, believing, and taking it and making their own a bit as well.
Last year, obviously, there's a little bit of I would say, a training wheels period for your players, kind of learning your system, learning, your expectations. Now that everybody's had time in your system, how does that allow you to kind of grow and explore and maybe even experiment a little bit now that people kind of understand the base and can go from there?
Yeah, well, firstly, including the guys surrounding me right now, they've done a really good job of being part of that communication and be part of that carrying forward of what we do. So in terms of growing it, I think it's just getting better at what we do and maintaining the consistency and developing an understanding of it. I think for me, it's trying to do the best that we can be without changing.
Absolutely. Coach, talk a little bit about, you mentioned him before, Gustav Oman winning Rookie of the Year last year. What are the next steps for him? I mean, you win the USA South Rookie of the Year. He's really become a star just being a sophomore. But what are the next steps for him in terms of on the field, but also as a leader?
Yeah, well, he's certainly going to get a lot more attention on the field this year, where Gustav himself and us as a group aren't surprising anyone anymore. So we're going to have to earn everything. He's going to have to earn everything. But Gustav's the type of guy who it's not going to get into his head or make him feel like he's better than anything or anything like that. So he's just going to keep working. And the crazy thing about Gustav is I feel like he's just scratching the surface of his potential in terms of skill, finishing, things like that. So, we expect a step and a jump, but it's not a pressure thing because he just wants to do it and he's always going to work hard at it.
I'll tell you what, the other half of that freshman scoring duo last year, Jade Deanna. Jade, talk to me a little bit about just kind of your first year here at Greensboro College and how it went for you and how you want to build on it for next year. Or for this year, I guess. This year is here.
It was good. The first year was really good. Obviously, I had no idea what to expect. I left Germany with pretty much no expectations, and then I got here. We had an amazing freshman group. The older guys, as Jalen, Max, Avery, all of them, they welcomed us pretty much as soon as we were here. And then as soon as practice started, I noticed it was a little bit different compared to how it is in Europe. A lot of more physicality is more important. I would also say maybe a little bit faster the game just in general. But then, everybody gave me the trust I needed. I was able to do what I want to do. Also, coach gave me enough freedom to play. I had no restrictions. And then I started off good. Then I kind of stopped at some point, but we had enough players as Gustav or Kalle last year. They just they were there and we could always rely on them if we needed. For this year, I'm just excited to be here again, first of all. Also about all the new freshmen. We have a big group. I think it's 16 in total. Wow. A lot of new guys. But doesn't mean that it's going to be worse or anything. So I'm just excited playing with the guys again. Looking forward to playing our first game against Bluefield.
Jade, talk a little bit about how you guys help the new players kind of learn the system, since obviously you guys have been here for a year now. Talk to us a little bit how that's gone so far in the preseason, just getting those new players acclimated to everything.
I mean, at the beginning it was obviously challenging because 60 new players who never heard about either our terminology or some stuff we did like channel balls or whatever. They had no idea what it is, but as coach said earlier, we have a lot of like people who've played in this system before, so I think we are able to adapt at some point, and we got there already. Like the language kind of is like at a point where everybody understands what we're trying to say. Now it's obviously the next challenge is like actually that every single one of the 33 players is able to play in this system, because we will need every single player. The season is long, injuries can happen, we will have tired legs, so we will need every single one of them. It's been, I would say, good so far. Obviously, we can still improve. We have a game tomorrow. I think that's also a really important step for us. After the first game, everybody was obviously nervous in the first game, wanted to show what they can do. So I think we're getting there.
Well, and hopefully that stomach bug that went around last year doesn't come back this year either. Coach, I see the look on your face there. That was something. Jalen, let me ask you. Obviously, a tough ending to last year. It was exciting to make the postseason and get to host a tournament game, and to be able to go into overtime, and then just as soon as Alvaro makes that great save, it's over a matter of moments later, and just the heartbreak there. But how do you guys not only deal with that for a whole off season, because that's your last memory of the year, but then also kind of use it for fuel this year as well?
Yeah, no, last year was a tough ending, but I think the mentality in the group going into the summer was really, really strong in terms of everybody wanted to come back in the fall and just prove themselves again. And I think now that everybody's like back on campus and we're like a family once again, and just seeing each other work hard in practice, we just have that drive to really go for it this year, and I mean, just talking to coach over the phone and stuff over the summer, we're just kind of telling the guys that are coming in that, this is the year that we want to push for a conference win. So, everybody's just mentally hungry, physically ready, and I think, just good group of guys, solid guys, so yeah.
Jalen, talk a little bit about, your first couple of years and then, last year. It was such a big difference just in terms of, the results on the field. Talk about, being able to, stick here, stay at Greensboro College, because we know, look, the transfer, portal era is here. It's not a secret.
For sure.
Talk about, staying here in Greensboro, buying into Coach Weinshank's vision, and just how fun it was to play last year.
For sure. No, I remember when Coach Momby was here for my first 2 years, it was mentally taxing. I would just put it like that. And I remember when I got the news that Coach Weinshank was coming in, I was talking to my parents, and I was kind of on the fence about it, and they were too, because we weren't really sure. Like, I've never met him before. I didn't know what his playing style was like. I didn't know if I was going to fit in, stuff like that. But something in my heart just told me, just stick it through, see how it goes. And when I met him and he explained the way he likes to play football and stuff like that, it was just like music to my ears, you know what I mean? So I was really willing to stick with it. Obviously, we lost some guys, but, when he brought in new guys and I saw the quality that they brought as well, I just believed in the process, you know what I mean? And once we got that first win at home, first win on the road, and we started to have a winning record, I saw the potential, and I knew, even though, as I said, last year ended rough, it was only up from there. So all good, man, all good.
Absolutely. Omer, let's talk to you, because you're one of the newcomers. You actually got here last semester, is that correct?
I did, yeah.
So watched you a little bit in the fall game, or the spring game. We're in the fall. I don't know what season it is.
Soccer season, man. Come on.
Every season's soccer season. Tell us a little bit about how you got to Greensboro College, a little bit about your collegiate background before here, and what you're looking forward to.
Okay, so a little bit about the background. I initially came to the U.S. I went to an NAIA school in Missouri. I did 1 year over there. It was a very good program. It was very challenging coming in there as a freshman. It's a program that recruits around like 90 people a year, so making it into the actual squad is not easy. So it was quite a shock coming in as a freshman, but it taught me a lot. At the end of the year, I didn't want to stay there, simply because I didn't enjoy my time over there and I looked for a different opportunity. I was lucky I got a good offer from JUCO in Utah. I played a year and a half there. It was a very good JUCO again. We won a championship. We won a conference championship and a tournament. And we just about missed nationals twice. So that was a bit upsetting. And then came here. Coach Wayne Shack was very nice in the call. I don't know, I had a couple offers, but he stood out to me. His play style, the way he introduced himself, the way he kept contacting me and reaching out, and he was kind of bearing with me in my process, which I really enjoyed. I'm excited for this season. It was an interesting spring because every spring I've done so far, we've had more than one game. I came here and I was quite surprised that D3 only has one game. So, you know, I've played 2 games with the guys up to now, but every session is amazing, very competitive, and honestly the level exceeds what I expected, which I'm very happy about. And I do believe that we can do a lot of good things this season, and I'm looking for another ring.
How did being able to be here one game, how did that help you gel and you know, get to know the teammates that are here this fall?
Oh, I'd say if I would come in new right now, it would be a lot harder. I wouldn't know any of the guys. I wouldn't know any of the principles of plays. Even one game, I mean, we went over set pieces. We went over all the terminologies that we have in the team. So I feel like I've played with them a whole semester, even though it's one game. And I don't know if you guys can agree, my teammates, my coach, but I like to think myself as a leader. So when coach tells me to do something, I'm going to study it. I'm going to make sure I know it so I can teach others around me and help others get better at it. So I think it was a big benefit coming in the spring and having that one semester.
Awesome.
I think, you know, obviously Coach Weinshank did a tremendous job turning this program around both on the field and culturally last year. You've obviously had plenty of success in your playing career up to this point. For a program that's still kind of figuring out what it means to win and to get back into winning ways, tell me a little bit about how you can share that mentality of like, guys, this is what it takes mentally to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. Well, college soccer is a lot more than just knowing your sport. I mean, you need to do things outside the field. It's 2 games a week. If you don't take care of your body, you're going to be injured. If we're going to be injured, right now we have 33 players. 1 is already injured. I mean, if we don't take care of our bodies, the numbers can drop, and it's going to be a lot harder to go through this season. I mean, I think we have a great group of guys that are not new, that are not freshmen. I mean, Jalen, Jade, Gustav, many others, David. I think we all want to win. I've heard what happened last season, terrible way to get out. I haven't experienced something quite like that yet, and I don't want to, and I'm not looking to do it, so I don't know. I'll try bring in that crunch time situation and make it into a win every time. Like, I give 100%, and I'm sure my teammates will too.
Coach, really quickly, one area we've not really touched on yet is the back line of defense. Obviously, Alvaro Arroyo, formerly Alvaro Hermosa, is in goal again this year, and what a luxury it was to have him last year, and obviously your great group of defenders last year as well. David Stipperich, one guy who I said, you know, didn't get enough credit last year for the job that he did. So talk a little bit about kind of the comfort with your defenders, your goalkeeper, that allows your midfielders and your forwards to play a little more freely.
Yeah, I mean, we have a solid base on the back line because obviously Alvaro returns, and David comes back, who actually led the team in minutes last year. So obviously he was a key piece for us. And then there's guys like Isak and Max who are seniors, our fullbacks, and they've just, you know, they're in our first match, they're just starting to look like seniors. That maturity level, that control of the game, that winning of their moments. So yeah, we have a really good base, and then I think we have some exciting guys that we've brought in. A D2 transfer in Armin. Leo has had a really good preseason. Adrian's brother, Brandon, has some really exciting moments as a center back and fullback for us. So yeah, I think we're in a good position with that, and we have some really good options on our back line. And now it's just about the group gelling and figuring how the back line works to the midfield and how we can build into the attack with some of these exciting attacking players.
Well, Coach, we'll kind of finish it with this. we asked, which one was it, women's soccer, about if you're going to win a conference championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what has
let's
to
do
happen?
let's do a round table real fast. We'll start with Jalen, and then we'll just kind of go around the table. If Greensboro College men's soccer is going to win a conference championship this year, what has to happen?
What has to happen? Ooh.
I said you have to score more goals than the other team, so you can't take that one.
Ooh. If men's soccer wins the championship, I'll dye my hair blonde.
Oh, okay.
100%.
I like that one. All right, Jade. What needs to happen with this team? You know, is it the chemistry? You know, the different skill sets. What has to happen in order for the team? You're good, Jade.
No, I think
you're good, dude. Listen,
you want to say something again?
Hey,
we've got this
recorded now. So
we've got this on camera
I'd
now.
like to see that.
And so now we're expecting to win the conference championship. So Jalen will dye his hair. That's pure gold. We're this is going on Instagram too. Everybody's got to know. Everybody's got to know.
No, I would say, first of all, we got to believe in it. As soon as we start against Bluefield, we got to believe in that we were able to win every single game, that we look at every opponent and we say we will be the better team at this day, that we will be the one who wins the game. And also just like trusting each other. I think that's probably the most important thing as a team. We need to trust each other so we can all be great.
If we compete in everything we do, matches, training, outside the field, and if we have genuine relationships with each other, that's how we win.
Over.
Yeah, for me it's mentality. If the team stays wanting to win, we will make it happen. I think we have the quality, so it's just the mentality and competitiveness between us.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for coming by. I know it was tough getting here right after practice, but thank you for taking some time with us, and we wish you the best of luck this year. We're excited to see you guys get after it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's the preseason preview for men's soccer. We're going to wrap everything up when we come back. GCA Live finishes up next.
With Greensboro College sports in full swing, get the inside scoop with an all-new season of Greensboro College Athletics Live. Hear from coaches and players as they break down past performances and take a look at what's ahead. Also featuring special guests and alumni, GCA Live gets you closer to the action like never before. Stay tuned to Greensboro College Athletics social media for programming schedule and guest appearances. GCA Live, the official coaches show of Greensboro College Athletics.
All right, one final segment here on GCA Live. What a night it has been, Stephen. We're certainly kicking things off the right way. We started with football. Women's soccer was here. Volleyball, we talked a little golf, a little cross country. Men's soccer just a few moments ago with the great promise by Jalen King. Yeah, that was great. But just what a night. Vibes are high, as they always are before seasons get underway. And just really, I think the energy and the excitement, as we said at the beginning of the show, right where they need to be going into the competition.
Yeah, there's a lot of excitement on campus. I mean, just from when the kids got here last week, classes have started, and now they know that they're a week away from the real games getting started. They get some exhibitions this week, but a lot of excitement. I mean, this is, I guess, going into my fourth year, I think this is probably the most excitement as a whole going into the fall, I think that I've been a part of since I've been here. So I think we're in for a lot of wins. I think we're in for a lot of excitement, a lot of all-conference awards, and hopefully one or two or three or more conference championships.
You just want
this fall.
How many T-shirts do you need?
I need at least one.
All right, let me ask you this, and I'm going to take away the most obvious answer because I like making your life difficult.
Great.
We have a lot of exhibitions this week. Men's soccer at home tomorrow. volleyball Wednesday, football on Thursday, and volleyball Friday, Saturday. Yes.
Soccer's Friday.
You know what? I'm looking at the wrong week. Here we go. Let's try this again.
There it is.
Yeah, here we go. I'm on the right week now. Women's soccer is tomorrow. Volleyball tomorrow. Wednesday. Volleyball. It's late, guys. Volleyball Wednesday. Football Thursday. Men's soccer on Friday.
Yep.
I'm taking out the obvious answer of everybody needs to stay healthy. We need to get through it healthy. What do you want to see from these teams during their exhibition season? You can make it individually. You can do it as a group. I don't care. But you can't say they got to be healthy. We all want everybody to be healthy.
Yeah, I mean, outside of being healthy, I want to just continue to see more progress. And I know that's an easy answer, but got to watch volleyball scrimmage on Saturday. Want to see a few things just kind of get straightened up.
Let me ask you something, though, because we're gonna get into some detail here. So, because I did not get to see that. A lot of veterans up top last year. Taylor Cody, Carla Del Castillo, the big blockers, if you will.
Yeah.
How do they look in that position going into the regular season?
I think a lot of people are going to be very, very excited about Abigail Leo.
Okay.
She is very good. She reminds me a lot of Carla. She's super athletic. She can hit. She can block. But also a couple of the freshmen. Hewlin, she's, I believe, 6'3". Van de Vinter is also, she had a good Saturday as well. That's one of the things that Coach Bo talked about earlier is the height that they have this year. I think.
And that was a spot he said at the end of last year he wanted to get better at.
Absolutely. They have some really good blocks. But I think Abigail Leo is the one that you're going to be really excited about in the middle. But yeah, I just want to see a few things get straightened up before a really tough opponent in Washington and Lee. Women's soccer has Lynchburg, which is a great test as an exhibition. They actually played them really well last year in an exhibition. And so I think for them just figuring out what that starting 11 is going to be, because they have more than 11 that are starter worthy. Men's soccer is probably the same. I really want to get to see some of these transfers that Coach Weinschenk brought in. And, of course, my favorite goalie of all time, Alvaro Arroyo, just unbelievable player.
And I think the midfield there is really fluid, too. You know who your scorers are. You know who your back line is. There's so many people that can
Axel Garcia, Jalen. I mean, there's a lot of threats there. Football, talk about wanting to stay healthy. That's always the sport that you just say, please don't come out of here with no injuries. I am so excited to see their running back room. They're going to be really strong on the ground this year, combined with their veteran offensive line. I want to see how the run game works against Averett. And I also want to see the defense. I mean, we talked a little bit about it earlier. Where's the pass rush coming from? And then I also want to see the secondary. How does the secondary match up? Because they lost, some pretty good secondary pieces, including Tyler Thaxton last year. So Larry Jones as well. So they're going to be kind of young in the secondary. So I want to see that as well. So
I think Khalil Marcus takes a big step forward this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of different things to look for in these exhibitions. And then a week from tomorrow, it all gets started.
Yeah, I'll give you the schedule here coming up. But really quickly, Stephen, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, switching over to Flow College this year and a little bit of a different setup for people who are wanting to get in and watch the games. And give us, again, just a quick rundown. And again, one of the big things about this, the ever-changing landscape, if you will, of how people view college sports, all but one conference in Division III is under the Flow umbrella this year. So it's really kind of everybody in the same boat now. So just talk to us a little bit about how that whole system works this year.
Absolutely. So Flow College, of course, part of Flow Sports. Flow Sports has a huge array of sports that they cover, both professionally and collegiately. So if you go to the GreensboroCollegeSports.com, it's going to be the first page that you see on the homepage, and it's going to be an informational article, and then also it's got a link as well about where you can go to subscribe. So go to that Flow College article on GreensboroCollegeSports.com. It'll tell you a little bit of information, and then it's going to give you a link. It's a landing page for Greensboro College Athletics, where all of our home events are going to be on. So you'll hit that link. you scroll down just a little bit, and there's a few different subscription options. There's a family plan that you can have up to 3 accounts at the same time, and then there's a couple other single device plans as well that you can subscribe to as well, monthly and yearly. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll actually see all of the different devices and ways that you can watch Flow College. It's not just on Flow College. It's through Amazon, through all different types of apps on your smart TV.
You watch racing on Flow.
I do. I've watched a lot of racing on Flow, and so Flow College has got a huge array of sports outside of the college, but of course for Greensboro College in particular, just head to that landing page. You'll see the subscription. You'll also see all the different apps that you can watch Flow College, and be sure on your phone, because we always watch on our phone, be sure to download the Flow Sports app, use your login, and you can also watch from there. So a lot of different ways to watch, some really, I think, handy, beneficial subscription plans as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun this year. Also, on our end, we've got a lot of cool things coming. We've got some different camera angles. We've got some, I think, really cool graphics, new graphics package coming as well. So along with the Flow College, we hope to also just continue to enhance our broadcast too.
And feel free to listen to us on mute, but obviously
you could also mute it. And
but hey, coming along with all the cool toys and everything, I think one thing we have to mention before we sign off here is the team that we've got this year. The interns and the work studies with the sports information team has gotten better every year since we've been here. And I think, no disrespect to some of the guys we lost last year, we love you, Mike Richards, but this might be our strongest group top to bottom.
Well, Kendrick, I think one of the things that, when I got here and then when you joined a year later, 2 of our top goals were to improve the live stream and then improve our interns and work studies in terms of the number of them. Right now, we're up to 16. Which is an insane number of interns and work studies.
I almost know everyone's name.
Almost, yeah. It is incredible because it's such a cool place to be, Kendrick. This being a small campus, you get to know everybody, and for us, we get to kind of show the students what we do behind the scenes, and it's a lot of fun. We have a ton of fun behind the scenes.
Too much?
Yeah, probably too much. And to have that many students helping us throughout this year, that's just a number that I couldn't have imagined a few years ago. And to have 16 and potentially more this year is just incredible. So we want to shout out our interns and our work studies. They're going to be massive helps behind the scenes, whether it's the production side for our live streams. Some of them you will hear on air, such as Jay Sean Ayala, who did a lot of games for us last year. They'll be doing social media content, photography, videography. So a lot of what you see is going to come from our interns. And so we just want to give them a huge shout out, and being able to come on and help us and make Greensboro College Athletics behind the scenes as best as we can. So we look forward to bringing parents, families, alums, the best possible product we can bring. Some days those, we'll be a little short-handed, but we always get through those. And we just want to thank everybody that has tuned in tonight, and that will tune in all year long. We hope you enjoy the live streams. We hope you enjoy the podcasts that are coming up, and of course the GCA lives as well. So I think we're in for a really, really exciting year, Kendrick.
All right, well, last thing on the agenda is to tell you what's coming up over the first 7 days of regular season competition. It all gets underway Tuesday, September the 1st. Women's soccer on the road at Eastern Mennonite, but we've got 2 games here, 6 o'clock. Here on the campus of Greensboro College. Women's volleyball, we talked about it with Coach Bo, a big season opening test against Washington and Lee. 6 o'clock, 5:30 pregame show on Flow, and Zach Burhans will be on the call for that one. I'll be outside at Pride Field for the first regular season game on the new turf, men's soccer against Bluefield. Again, 6 o'clock start and a 5:30 pregame show. Then on Friday, September the 4th, volleyball is in Danville, Virginia, where they'll take on Guilford and Roanoke. And men's cross country is at Pfeiffer for the Pfeiffer Invitational. Saturday, September the 5th, men's golf gets their season started, the Transylvania Fall Invitational, where FIFA Shankarn won last year individually. First win for Greensboro College in a couple of years. Men's soccer will be on the road at Guilford, just down the road. So if you're not doing anything around lunchtime, hope to see you over there. Women's volleyball continues their stay in Danville, taking on Averett. And then the big one that night, 6 o'clock, the Soup Bowl. Football gets their season started against Guilford. Right over there, we'll have the pregame show for you there, either 5:15 or 5:30, TBD, depending on how much content we have there on Flow College. And then lastly, on Sunday, September the 6th, men's golf continuing at the Transylvania Fall Invitational. And women's soccer, their home opener against Warren Wilson. First time we'll see Kendall Cam, Shea Brennan, Cameron Marcondes and company on that Sunday. Again, that's a 3 o'clock start with a pregame show at 2:30. And the next GCA Live, make sure you're following Greensboro College Athletics social media for information on that, as well as who our guests may be. Hopefully we can get some alums and some fun surprises for you as the year goes. But we have made it through over 2 hours of a preseason bash. That will do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. We hope you're as excited for this upcoming year of Greensboro College Athletics as we are. A big thank you to all of our coaches who came out tonight, all of our players, all the supporting student athletes behind the scenes who came and supported their teammates up here with the microphone. They made it look easy, I promise you. Sometimes the nerves can get to you, so just want to shout out all of our student athletes today, our Director of Athletics, Jerry Fisk, our Director of Athletic Development, Rob Hevner, and everyone else who made tonight possible. And that's a wrap on the GCA Live preseason bash. For Stephen Whitenhouse, I'm Kendrick Fruits, wishing you a green and white good night. This has been a presentation of Greensboro College Athletics on the Greensboro College Sports Network.